feel, Magic's a living, breathing thing. It just moves on. If something gets taken away, people find something else to supplement it.
Welcome to Shattered Signal, a brand new podcast from the Shattergang. My name is Baz, and I am joined, as always, by my co-hosts, Dean and Luke. How are you both doing?
Yeah, doing good. Getting ready for Christmas.
Indeed, it's just on the horizons. Horizon, singular.
It's coming around quick, but excited.
Yeah.
Love Christmas.
Yeah, is it big in your house?
It is. My wife is very Christmassy.
Nice.
I'm the Christmas one in my house.
Nice.
Admittedly, I'm not super Christmassy, but since having a kid, I've become a lot more Christmassy. But yeah, my wife's definitely the Christmassy one in the family. But as it's Christmas, the perfect segue, lads. It is almost the end of 2024, so we thought we would chuck ourselves on record and have a wee chat about 2024 and a bit of a recap in Magic. So our kind of perspective on what the years looked like. Talk about some sets, cards, events we attended, kind of fun stuff like that. So the hard bit is going through the release calendar this year, because oh my goodness, January we had Ravnica Remastered, and then immediately following that we had Murders of Karlov Manor in February, which also, just in case that wasn't enough, we also got a Clue edition, like board game, Cluedo, which was kind of cool. I haven't actually played it yet, but maybe we'll talk about that a little bit in a moment. Fallout was March. Outlaws of Thunder Junction was April. My God, that's like almost every month. Modern Horizons was June. Assassin's Creed was July. Bloomborough was August. Duskmorn was September, and then finally we had Foundations in November, and December we have had a break. That's so many sets. Oh my goodness.
It really seems like it's just a malicious rumor that MTG releasing too much product over the years.
Yeah, it's just unreal. Like, I know we're new to it, but geez, it's so many.
It's like we got a little bit of a breather between April and June, but pretty sure there was 40 secret layers that came out in that between that time. Though.
Yeah, absolutely. So very deliberately forgone the secret layers inclusion. Maybe that's one for another time, but yeah, I just felt like there was Magic product every month, if not like the same month.
Definitely.
There was like I felt like, particularly, what was it? We were kind of doing like a big thing for Thunder Junction, which we'll come to a wee bit later, and then we were already like dealing with Modern Horizon spoilers like on the launch of Outlaws Thunder Junction.
Yeah,
which is just like that's nuts. But yeah, so we started the year with Ravnica Remastered, which was a remastered set. So for those that don't know, remastered sets are essentially reprints of blocks. So in this instance, it was all three of the Ravnica blocks combined into like a draftable experience. So it wasn't all of like, what was it, 900 cards from all the sets or something like that. Fact checker can catch me in the comments. But it was a curated selection of cards from the three blocks, which was kind of nice in some ways for me, because like we all mentioned in the last podcast, Ravnica is kind of a bit of a special plane for us, because it was kind of where we started playing Magic, like all of us together. So I was quite excited to see it come back. What about you guys? What was your initial thoughts about a remastered set on Ravnica?
Yeah, I was excited when it was coming back as well, but I was disappointed with the execution.
Oh, curious.
I think the Dominaria Remastered the year before was so much better than this one. It was just a big letdown to me. Obviously, some of the nostalgic cards in that was great, but yeah, it's just wasn't my cup of tea.
I would have to echo that. I mean, Dominaria Remastered was fantastic. There was a lot of high value cards in there. I don't think Ravnica Remastered is a set if you're looking for value for resaleability, unless of course you get the fancy numbered cards. But I do like reprints with different art treatments and things. So I enjoyed it, but it wasn't something that obviously I would buy because the singles, the value of them was already really low anyway. There was very few kind of high value reprints. But yeah, I mean, new artwork for Niv Mizzet, sign me up.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think it's one of those sets where my hype for it was like medium to high on the run up to it, and then it did hit home. I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, like I have most of these cards already, so I was mostly looking for singles of like the alternate arts of cards that I love. Particularly like the full art Shot Clans, that was pretty cool. Granted, I didn't pick up any of them because I just didn't want to spend the money, quite honestly. But I know a lot of people got really hyped about the retro borders for the Shot Clans, so that was kind of cool. So it feels like there was like a little for everybody, but not necessarily loads for any one particular demographic. And I feel like that's pretty much what a remastered set is. Like,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's for drafting. And
True.
the three of us don't really draft, so.
Really being never.
I've done it
now and
once.
again. Now and again on Arena, but other than that.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
So no standout reprints for you in remastered.
I think obviously Cloudstone Curio was cool to get a reprint of. That brought the price down of that. Like Dean said, I really like the retro kind of foiled cards. I pulled the Deathrite Shaman, and it's the green and the black, and it's the old border, and it's retro.
Yeah,
and it looks great. It's worth like £4, but it's a very pretty card. So yeah, no, I enjoyed the art direction. That was good.
Yeah, no, I must admit, I really don't get hyped for retro borders, but the foiling on it was beautiful. Like I have one as well, and it's a card I always smile when I see in my hand. So.
Oh, I had the only one. It's not special anymore.
But also, so something a wee bit closer to me though is like reprints of like Liliana Dreadhorde General, like just absolute bomb planeswalkers that you're always gonna try and find a wee home for. Not the most expensive single in the world, but it is like before reprinting, it was still quite a stingy card.
Oh, it was for sure.
Same with like
What about
Bolus
the
Dragon
Grand-
God and things like that. Spot the guy that likes planeswalkers.
Yeah, like Grand Abolisher, and I think they reprinted Bruvac, didn't they? Which put the price down for that.
Yes,
Is that
that's
in the
right.
set?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
obviously
that was-
that's a positive thing. I mean, there's bringing more reprints makes the cards more accessible. Can only be a good thing.
Yeah,
I think that was Bruvac's first reprint.
it was
only-
after
it was
years and years of
Jumpstart,
not.
yeah.
Yeah. So I picked up. So damn it, I should have remembered that because that is like literally my standout card from that set.
Yeah.
I just forgot it was this year. Like total release fatigue.
But it shows you why reprints are good, because the Jumpstart one's still fairly expensive,
Big time.
and the newer one was cheaper at the time. I don't know what it is now value-wise, but
Well, I was able to pick up like the alt art and the. I can't remember what the treatment was. It's called. I'm rubbish for knowing like the showcase treatment names and whatever. But I think I got it for like a $5.
yeah.
Just
And
great.
like Jumpstart, it was like $30-40 for it when I was looking to buy one. I think I tried to buy one for 20 and it never arrived. And
When I
was
bought
really-
one for my mill deck,
yeah, as you should. It's like it's the best mill card there is. Don't at me in the comments.
Now with fancy art, perfect.
I know, win-win, and retro. You know, everybody wins. So that takes us to February with Murders at Karlov Manor. So as a reminder, Karlov Manor is like a top-down murder mystery set that is also taking place in Ravnica, which I thought was particularly interesting, going to Ravnica twice back to back. But at least it was like a little bit different. Like it, but what were your guys' thoughts on Karlov Manor?
I didn't really. So I know a big part of obviously the standard or the sets is to follow the lore and understand what's going on the plane. I didn't invest in that at all, so I looked at it purely from a card and a mechanic point of view, and I wasn't that wowed by it. I'll be honest. I think there was a few, a couple of really good things in it, but I think the majority was just it just didn't capture me at all.
Yeah, some good cards. I wasn't a fan of the mechanics. And I wasn't a fan of the boosters.
Of course, yeah, because that was the change to the play boosters, wasn't it? That was the set that it all changed forever.
Yeah,
no more draft boosters and set boosters. So some negative experiences with play boosters so far. Then
they don't feel as good as set boosters, but I can't honestly say I've opened enough product or I've bought boxes and sat down. Pull up data for it. It just doesn't feel as good.
That's what's put me off buying more set boosters. I have play boosters. Set boosters are so good.
I definitely agree. It's
bring them back.
One thing I do like about it is in a world where we have so many different types of product, it at least like streamlined the booster packs so there isn't like multiple. Well, I suppose there still is because there's Jumpstart, but that in itself is like self-contained.
So that's the thing. I would say I understand why it was done because they were getting an option. They had to do this, or there wasn't going to be draft boosters anymore, and people want to draft. That's like the core of the game.
Yeah,
really. If people can't draft, you don't get new cards. And
that's it. You don't get singles if nobody's opening product, right?
Yeah.
I think it was a necessary compromise, as Dean said. If you lose draft, and LGSs were just being left with draft boosters because everyone wanted the set boosters for the chance of the fancy artwork or another rare. And draft is always, I've got a load of cards that I'm just chaff I'm never going to use in a constructed format. So no, it made sense, but as an end user, you were like, miss set boosters.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Like I was surprised at how much I liked Karlov Manor as a whole, though, because we got the Surveil lands, which are like probably the best lands to be printed in a very long time. Like I'm really high on them. I need to make a point of getting a copy of all of them. I only have a handful.
All the Scry lands went to the bin.
That's it. See you later, temples. What I do like about the temples, though, is they were all temples, whereas the Surveil lands are all like non-standardized names. It's got like the triomes debacle all over again. But it was the set to absolutely power up my Morphs typo deck. So while you guys weren't fussed for the mechanics, the new Disguise mechanic, which is essentially Morph. So there was loads of toys that came out in this. I'm surprised at how much I liked it because I don't follow the lore of in the story much, so I try. It's tough to criticize the set when it's something that's not really important to me. But it did. I did have a bit of a chip on my shoulder around having to go back to Ravnica again, and it just feeling a bit weird. I was probably just vibing off of like what other people were saying around it, and I was like, oh yeah, I do agree with that. That is kind of strange, but like it had such cool cards. So like the cases as well, so like different enchantment types. There was loads of new stuff in it that I thought were just really good. So I'm way higher on it than I expected to be, quite honestly. Even looking back on it now as I'm flicking through.
I will say this. Sorry, I did enjoy the art style with like the detective sheet kind of rap sheet profile thing. I thought that was very cool. I mean, maybe if played stand at the time, I'd have probably got more joy out of it. I think it was probably just too self-contained to just a kind of singular location rather than kind of plane wide. And I think maybe that was the other thing, that you had to know the lore to really kind of get in there and appreciate detectives and all this kind of stuff. But I'm glad you got some cool tools for your morph deck.
Are you? Well, Dean wasn't, because I played it on stream last week, and
Nah.
I heard.
I don't think Dean's gonna.
And that sentence might come up all night as well. Got some new tools for my morph deck. It's like, how many sets have we got to go before you get more?
I mean, this year was good for morphs. Not gonna lie. But my absolute standout card from Karlov Manor is definitely Anrag, the Quake mole. I played that in our set special, and it's so much fun. Like, I haven't built it as a real deck yet, but it's just so cool, and it's a card that's like not in any of the story as far as I can tell. So, like, okay, my favorite card has nothing to do with like the main plot. What about you guys? Any like actual singular cards that stand out to you?
Delney, Streetwise Lookout.
Oh, that's the double ATB.
Yeah. If I built it power 2 or less, triggers twice. It's just. And the can't be blocked by power 3 or greater as well. So that's Arabella, which we'll get to.
Well,
no spoilers.
Let me just cut it off here. Sorry, it looks like. Thanks for joining us. Bye. What would you look?
Probably Vein Ripper. I like kind of sacrifice deck, and the fact you're pinging for 2. It's a big body. It flies. I thought that was a pretty good card, and I think the price reflected that. And it got for like $20 odd. So, a cool card.
Yeah, because playable mythics, absolutely gigantic secondary market price. I opened one and flipped it, which I'm a little bit sad about because I have a deck that would go in now, but it won you a game 3 weeks ago.
It did, yeah, won me a game,
yeah. But absolute blowout as well. Like, there was no like denying you had won it. As soon as it hit the table, I was like, oh, okay, game is over. So, but a big splashy mono black card that ends games, like, that's, what more could you want?
If you don't deal with it, that's it. It's game.
Yeah,
100%.
Just like Shieldred.
It's not
at
that table.
Get over it. But yeah, I think on the whole, like, I'm still surprised. I know I've said it 3 times already, but I'm surprised I liked Karlov Manor.
Another card I really liked from the set, but I haven't actually found the place in the deck for it yet.
Oh,
is Insidious Roots.
Yes,
which is the tokens you tap for mana.
Oh, yeah, the enchantment. That's right. Yeah.
And whenever a card leaves your graveyard, you create a 0/1 plant.
Yes.
And then put a 1/1 counter on it for each other plant you control. So.
It's actually seeing play in some TM builds for cEDH.
Oh.
Because you take out the graveyard, you get a plant, you put a counter on it, then you can then manipulate those counters. So it's got a wider scope than you think. Cool card.
I'm just glad Dean didn't say it was like Doorkeeper Thrall, like the new is it Hushbringer.
Dean loves an ETB.
Or he loves denying it. He loves stacks, the lad. And then from you guys not being particularly whelmed by Karlov Manor, I feel like you got one of the best sets ever. Fallout was in March. So we're only at March and we're 3 sets deep. FYI. So yeah, Fallout, not a game I've played a lot, so I don't have any particular affinity for it. But since playing with the cards and watching the TV show, I'm definitely higher up on the theme of it all. Not least of all because it's post-apocalyptic, which is a kind of a story setting I do tend to enjoy. What were you, Dean? But you fed well. Fallout.
Yeah. We feasted. Fallout. Ural, the mind.
Oh my god!
Stalker,
yeah,
he feasted very well in this set. Open the vaults, reprint. Okay, but the art was cool. Strong back. What was it? Mantle of the Ancients.
Yeah.
Just everything's coming back to attach to Ural. But the commander decks, I think they all played really well together as well. Like the 4 decks.
Definitely felt that way.
Really, yeah.
Definitely.
It really pulled you into the theme they've built. But
kind of like the Warhammer set and the Lord of the Rings one. You know, previously, you felt there was a lot of love and energy that went in to make sure the decks were playable, but also thematic. Like you said, Dean, it's like you've got, oh, this deck wants to make junk, this deck wants to mill you, this deck wants to make soldier. You enjoyed playing the cards, even though there were a lot of reprints with just different artwork, which I always appreciate. I mean, if you're going to reprint a card and change the art on it, it's always a good thing. But no, I played the game, and as soon as I saw it, and then I saw the cards being spoiled, and I just knew I'd end up building dog meat. And then Dean took all the best pieces out of dog meat and stuck them in Ural and made a better deck, so that upset me a little bit. But you know, Ural's a stupid card, but we'll live with that.
Sorry, he even has dog meat in that deck.
He does. He just did it to upset me.
I absolutely love it.
But no, some great reprints and some great old art treatments. One of my favorites is Farewell, but it's got the Pip-Boy artwork, and it's just so cool. And so they really did well with the homage to the source material for sure.
Yeah, I like that. But you make a really good comparison where like one of the reasons 40k was just so magnificent was because all the art was bespoke to all the sets, and they've done it again in Fallout, and I do really appreciate that because you do get like a good flavor around what the set's all about, and like it does kind of tell a wee bit of a story.
Yeah, super. But then that's the difference of something you love and a set that you're not too keen on. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that thought Karlov Manor was one of the best things ever, and Fallout was like a piece of dog shit.
Trash, Dean, trash. You try to get money.
No, wait, junk.
Yes. There you go. But no, like I think for me the biggest standouts is the rad mechanic. Like I thought that was quite interesting, not least of all because Nuclear Fallout is one of the new blackboard wipes. It's done all right in Tivit, my cEDH deck, which I wasn't sure about, but every time I've cast it, it's felt good. It just has like a second Toxic Deluge essentially, and Radstorm, which is I felt it was my project card this year. So I built a deck around Radstorm, and I think I've cast exactly 0 times. But I thought anything that says Storm on it, I'm always keen to try out. Maybe we'll see it again.
2025.
One day. That's my goal for 2025. Cast Radstorm. Amazing. And then we went to April, and that was all about Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Quite a contentious set. Like this was a set that I didn't see folk having much love for, and it was Magic's first take on like a Western genre, fantasy frontier sort of thing, and it's a new plane, and it was all about villains and crimes, which was kind of weird. And it had the big story arc around the opening of the Omen Path that allows the characters to move between planes without needing to have a spark, since they all get desparked and all will be one. Spoiler alert. So narratively allowing folk to be able to move between planes, which will probably be pretty good for product releases in the future. But what was your thoughts on Thunder Junction, Luke?
Well, the direct opposite of what we just spoke about with the Fallout set, where there was continuity and effort and love put into it. I felt Thunder Junction was a missed opportunity to explore and explore this kind of environment. I felt they went far too safe on it. It was too kind of almost childish with just cowboy hats and things. I felt I was playing Super Mario when really it should have been potentially a little bit more. I compare it with, I think Kaldheim's one. I think Kaldheim, and I think as a set, you're dealing with Norse mythology, and I think they absolutely nailed it with the design, the characters, the story. I think Thunder Junction was just a little bit it just missed the mark for me. There's some cool cards, and you could question the Omen Path just completely devaluing the point of a Planeswalker Spark, but that's another conversation altogether. So it didn't really hit home for me. A couple of mechanics I liked. I liked the spree mechanic. I thought that was really good. And some good reprints. But yeah, to me, I didn't think it was there. What did you think, Dean? What are your thoughts on Thunder Junction? Give us some positivity.
One word. Just one. Roxanne.
You don't have to put on your red light. Yeah, Roxanne, what a bomb card.
Great card.
It's probably my favourite card of the year. Like, I felt a bit fatigued going into the sets, and when Outlaw Thunder Junction came out and Roxanne was spoiled, the passion came back to build.
The passion.
Because I hadn't really built much from about October the year before. I think it was just product fatigue. And so I seen Roxanne and I was like, yep, meteorites, yep. Double mana, Gruul. It's like tick, tick, tick. But yeah, I liked the set. I'm not as negative as Luke on the cowboy theme. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed getting involved in it. and yeah, wearing a cowboy hat for a wee while. It was fun.
Yeah, well, right enough, and we'll come to it later in the segment after we talk about sets. But yeah, it was the first event that we all attended together as creators for AxionNow, which was kind of cool. But yeah, wearing a cowboy outfit for 2 days straight was interesting. Yeah, I think I'm kind of in the middle of both of you. Like it did grind on me a little bit that it was like Magic but cowboy hats. Because I don't even think it was like necessarily because it's. I'm trying to like strategically say what I'm trying to say, think about what I'm trying to say, but yeah, I felt it was a little bit disingenuous representation of like the Western frontier. It felt like it told half a story. Around like the historical stuff that actually happened during that time period in North America, but I get that it's basically all about the what's the word with the westerns. There's a terminology for it. The TV shows or the movies, anyway. But basically based on the old Western movies, where it was good versus bad. And I got really frustrated that everything was a crime. Which was an interesting mechanic. I don't mind it because it's like self-contained, but it introduced an interesting mechanic to the whole of the game, where if you target anything from any of your opponents or your opponent, you have committed a crime. So they kind of came and went, which I do find a little bit funny. But it did have some really cool cards like Insatiable Avarice, the Black Tutor with Spree. I thought that was really cool. I'm same as you, Luke. I think Spree is like the absolute standout thing of the set. Like as we all are, we mostly play Commander, if not exclusively. So anything that's like a modular card, I'm pretty warm on. Like even if it's a big CMC, if it's got a couple of modes, I want to know about it. What else? Bristly Bill was a cool print. New Legend for Landfall, green. Instant staple. But yeah, I don't have anything that's like, oh, I love that card. It's kind of... I was the opposite of you, Dean, where I was at the point of fatigue where I'm like, I don't want to brew any of this. None of this is exciting.
But you did.
But I did. I brewed a Grixis Marquesa deck, and that was good fun. I did enjoy piloting that.
Rebecca.
Oh, was Rebecca Outlaws?
Yeah.
All right, I love Thunder Junction. This is great. Rebecca is amazing.
So not a cowboy hat in the picture.
Almost definitely. And then, yeah, God, Rebecca was Outlaws of Thunder Junction. See, so that proves my point. I was absolutely fatigued at this point. And deciding to not build Rebecca for the set special for us was kind of representative of that. Although we played with Chad Magic that set, didn't we, Dean? So, swings and roundabouts. But yeah, I feel like the story was a bit of a miss. What we did mention was the bonus sheet. So we got a Mindbreak Trap reprint, which I thought was pretty cool. But I didn't like the breaking news treatment because you couldn't tell what color any of the cards were.
Some were better than others. Yeah.
So the one Mana Drain was in as well.
Mana Drain, of course. So a couple of big reprints.
The mono red one with I've forgotten the name. Will's brother. What's her name?
Oh, Jessica? No, not Jessica.
Penrith.
Well, the surname, yeah.
Is it Rowan?
Rowan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rowan.
Rowan's the one from the mono red one, doubles like everything. They reprinted that, which is quite cool because that had only been out in one set. So there were some cool reprints in the bonus sheet for sure.
I'm trying to think what that does now. Oh my goodness. Tell us in the comments. It also reminds me as I'm flicking through the cards, I have a Rush of Dread that I have not got Kristen to sign because that was her preview card for that set.
Oh, yeah.
Note to self, get that signed. If you're listening, Kristen, I'm going to throw a Sharpie in your face. I forgot to do it in Amsterdam. But yeah, and then the Wanted poster art I thought was pretty cool. So you got like Oko on a Wanted poster. Kind of like following on from the detective case treatments from Karlov Manor. Something that are quite different. But I ended up not being particularly excited at all by them.
I didn't feel I had it.
Sorry. I actually bought one of the Secret Layers, which had the cowboy art as well.
Nice.
Because I liked it so much.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. Like I say, we've all got different opinions on what we like and what we don't.
It was almost like a test for like the art style, wasn't it? And then the Secret Layer, they were like, "Oh, people like this. Let's do it. Or let's do different cards." You see that a lot with some of them.
Yeah. So it's a bit of an aside. That's something I do really like about Secret Layer because that's the place to do it. Like, you get your one good reprint and your 4 other trash cards and really cool art. I'm not jaded at all. I buy Secret Layers, so I'm not saying anything.
They'll look great in the binder.
So we're kind of mid on the Thunder Junction as a whole, but I bet you that's going to be different for releases in June, which was Modern Horizons 3, aka Return of the Eldrazi. Yeah. Yes. At once. So extra special for us, and we'll mention it in the next segment, but that is when we were all at MagicCon Amsterdam as well. So lots of really positive things to associate with Modern Horizons 3. Is there anything yourself, Dean, that kind of stands out as your highlight from the set?
Ocelot Pride.
The most pain in the ass mono white 1-drop.
Yeah. More energy for the energy commander decks that was released earlier. And more Eldrazi support because we needed it.
Absolutely, we're starved of it, mate.
Not anymore.
I think for me, jumping in just to break up the order of we're answering and stuff, as you might have noticed, dear listener. I'm a little bit boring because I like the utility of the set because we got more MDFCs, so the modular double-faced cards, which means it had a spell in the front and a land on the back. But the lands this time, a lot of them came in untapped if you paid 3 life. It was also, you were getting dual lands, so you're getting 2 colors on the other side, which is particularly, I think that's a cool space to explore. So I've been really enjoying those, as well as the landscape lands.
Yeah,
we were
landscape
talking about before we hit record.
Yeah, they were cool.
So like the new basic fetch lands. So they're in the 3 color wedges. Comes in untapped, taps for colorless, sacrifices with no additional cost, fetches a basic of the wedges, a basic land type, and then you can also cycle it for one of each of the 3 pips. I think that's just a slam dunk of a card. So kudos, dear card designers, if you ever listen to this episode. I thought that was like a big positive from that set. What about you, Luke? Anything that stood out to you?
Just got images of the designer sitting at home, like Leonardo DiCaprio pointing to the TV. Look, 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 look.
The Shattergang know who we are.
Well, if
Yeah,
they are listening,
Like and subscribe.
put them in the commander decks instead of a Terraforming Expanse, please.
Oh, there it is. Great idea. Yeah, Modern Horizon 3 was a slam dunk. It ticked all the boxes. I thought it was competitively priced per pack as well, which I think has been a problem with some of the kind of fancier, more premium products. Reprinting fetch lands was fantastic. Finishing that cycle, you were able to get the fetch lands. The flare spells, like,
Super cool.
Sacrifice a creature, get to do a thing. I thought they were great. I've only played the red and black ones. The blue one, I've got one, but I've not found a deck for it yet. And the green one was sorcery speed, which doesn't make it as good because you can't react, but all in all, cool cards. The Commander Precons I thought were pretty good as well. I picked up the Jund one. I thought it was pretty well built out of the box. Obviously, I've tweaked it, and it plays quite well. But now, Modern Horizon 3, nailed it. Great set.
Interestingly, none of us said Nadu.
I think we all try and forget about Nadi.
It doesn't exist in our format anymore. But yeah,
Cool artwork, though.
I mean, I think, well, again, Nadu's fine in Commander, but we did get a really cool new card like Necro Dominance, basically a second copy of Necropotence, which is I thought was really bold. Like, it's not I was going to say not a reprint I expected, but it's not something I expected them to print into Modern. So that was pretty cool. We also didn't mention the medallions. Very happy to see reprints of those staples in our formats.
Art for them.
The all art was the gem medallion. So beautiful. I still haven't picked one up. I need to do that.
Just own the card for the art. I mean, they're great as they are, but the artwork, like, they just look so pretty. Phyrexian Tower as well. What a great reprint.
Oh, yeah. I opened one of those.
I did too. I got the full art one.
Heck
So it went straight into a deck. It's just such a good card. It's a land that you can use to generate mana by sacrificing something. It was like $30 before the reprint. So it was good to see that being more accessible for people.
Yeah, definitely. Strong themes coming through already. Accessibility.
Sacrifice
reprints. Oh yeah, and yeah. You love a sacrifice.
We're all for reprints here.
Yeah, and if not, just print them. It's fine. Proxy. What? So uh, one of the cards I was really high on that I never ended up building a deck around was Necrobloom, the Abzan landfall deck that it's basically like Field of the Dead on a body.
Yes.
Play a land, create a zombie or a plant. I feel like I probably will circle back and do that because it's.
There's a certain somebody that has a deck.
That's why I didn't build it, mate.
They spent a lot of money when we were in Amsterdam, and it's still in piles, and it's never been.
I'm sure you'll get around to it eventually.
It's none of us, okay?
2026.
I mean, I would never buy lots of cards for decks that I've not got around to building. I would hate to point the finger.
Basically, this is the same reason all you guys have said. I love Abzan. It looked like a really fun thing, but someone dear to us said that they were going to build it, so I just put it out of my head because there's no point us having
the same
decks to do the same thing.
They said dibs, and that was it.
But
fair.
If that person doesn't build it, I have first dibs purely because of the relationship we share.
Fair. And dear listeners and followers of the Shattergang might know the in-joke already, but if you're new here and you don't know, it's just a little mystery you're going to have to unravel. Yeah. One thing I do want to mention about the set as I move away from hopefully not doxing one of our good friends is the art, the card art from Justine Jones in Modern Horizons 3 was like honestly some of my favorite things to see, especially the foils. So Horrific Assault, which was the green sort of like spectre wolf It's done in like a kind of cartoony style. I'm not gonna lie, folks. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm not gonna put the videos, the card art on the screen because I'm just lazy. But treat yourself and go look at Horrific Assault. The artwork is so cool. There was another one. It's the red. I should have been more prepared for this. But anyway,
the common. I know the one you mean.
Yeah, they're all commons.
It's like Glimpse the Unthinkable, isn't it?
It is exactly that. I believe it's definitely Glimpse something.
There was another card I was big into as well. I just remembered as Power Balance.
Power Balance. Oh yeah, that was the box topper, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not as good as Counterbalance, but it's.
I mean, it's decent.
It's still quite good.
Yeah, it does something different to Counterbalance.
Even if it stops somebody playing a card because they know that your card on top of your deck's to CMC.
Yeah, which happens when you played it on stream.
Yeah.
Glimpse the Impossible, you're spot on. Look, yeah. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that was like, unsurprisingly, lots to speak about with Modern Horizons 3 in June of all places, and then more treatment for you guys. This was the year of Universe Beyond not really doing it for me, but oh my goodness, did it do it for you guys? Because in July we got Assassin's Creed, and y'all would not stop talking about this in Discord. It was like, as soon as it was spoiled, it would come up every week. Something would get chatted, something would get leaked, or something would get spoiled. Dean, you have a deck that you built from this set, so why don't you tell us about that and your thoughts on Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, well, as like Assassins, we worked quietly in the night and didn't talk about it at all. Alexios. It's basically Slicer, but I think it's better than Slicer. It's that's an argument for another day.
No, engagement bait. Comment down below.
Yeah, come at me, bro.
Come at me. At us on Blue Sky.
Yeah. Alexios, an equipment deck, and it was. Yeah, I just love it. The set was amazing. The flavor for Assassin's Creed, like getting to go through all the previous games. My favorite one's Valhalla, and I was kind of disappointed with the cards that were thinking from Valhalla, but other than that, like slam dunk, home run.
Wow, like true to the video game in your opinion?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, the free running mechanic. Yeah, it was just. Yeah.
Good. No, I'm glad.
I'm just so happy just sitting thinking about it and not actually saying anything.
How did it compare to, because obviously you were like huge on Lord of the Rings, like how where was it in terms of that? Did it hit as hard as Lord of the Rings?
No, because it wasn't a full set.
Fair. Should it have been?
Yes. Epilogue boosters, or whatever. I think that's what they called them. Beyond boosters. It was epilogue boosters.
Boosters.
They just changed the name.
I mean, change the name. It was an absolute failed product, but just change the name and re-release it. It's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, all the cards, because there was no commons, were uncommons and that. But the uncommons basically become commons, so it was a weird one. I bought mostly singles. Not for enough trying though. I tried to buy them in Amsterdam, but they didn't have any.
Couldn't find the booster packs. Like when we did our giveaway in, oh my goodness, I can't remember what month we did a giveaway. Oh, it was for our birthday, for our stream anniversary. Bought sets from between the previous year and could not find an Assassin's Creed booster to save myself.
So what, buy singles?
Buy singles. Yeah, I mean, do buy singles. If you're not going to print it out, buy singles. But support your local game store where you can. There you go. That's the propaganda. What about you, Luke? You were pretty high on Assassin's Creed as well.
Yeah, I really liked it. I liked, as Dean said, you're going through the different games. There's some really cool cards in there. Black Flag's probably my favorite Assassin's Creed game. So the whole pirate thing. I built a pirate deck with Adewale, which plays quite well. Probably could do being tuned a bit. Some great reprints again, like Reconnaissance was a great reprint. Some of the the artifact equipment, things like Excalibur, some of the. So it was a really good set in terms of interesting, good cards that would go into lots of different decks. I do agree with Dean. I'm not a fan of Beyond boosters. I think the Beyond booster was probably a hangover because they'd already made the decision to do it. And from the Epilogue booster that they did with Aftermath and thought, well, we've already committed to this, we've got to go with it now. I think sets like Assassin's Creed could absolutely have a full set. I mean, there's 6 games? Probably more. I'm trying to think now off the top of my head. So you've got a multitude of characters, multitude of locations. You definitely could have had a similar Fallout. You could have had a full set dedicated to Fallout. But no, I thought it was a very good set. I was just sad that I couldn't get the product I wanted to open. But I got the signals I wanted, so.
Yep.
All's well that ends well. Yeah, like again, similar to Fallout, like I have played Assassin's Creed games. Like Black Flag is my favorite of the ones I have played as well. So I really wasn't fussed for Assassin's Creed. I was super happy. My friends were hyped on it. I could see like how it does kind of work in the quote unquote lore of Magic. Like it's not too far of a departure from kind of like what Magic is. I like that it's all about assassins. That's kind of cool. There was essentially like a bit of a Kindred set, which is a set. It's not a set. Don't know what you call it. Anyway, a Kindred release. But I was really excited about the reprints we got. So we got things like Rest in Peace, Black Market Connections, which is a huge reprint. Starts with Reconnaissance. That was the reprint. I think you mentioned that as well, didn't you, Luke?
I did, yeah. That's great.
It's a card I've wanted forever that I just haven't justified paying the money for the original printing. So was very happy to see it for like 20p in the secondary market. Excalibur, slam dunk of a card, love it, flavor perfect. Every time I cast it, makes me so happy. But yeah, no, I thought it was a cool set. I'm sad that there wasn't more of it because it does feel like there is a lot more to explore from like a gameplay aspect. Something I wasn't sure on when I saw the cards getting released was like the real life characters. So when I saw like Leonardo da Vinci was going to get printed in their card, I was like, oh, that's a bit weird. But I kind of got past that eventually. Not least of all because the card's really cool. I was happy to have a Mjolnir print as well. I know it's not. It's like fables.
But it's real.
It's mythical, but it is like real worldy. So that was cool. Yeah. It's also another equipment that I'm really happy to cast anytime I find it.
I think they went pretty safe with the real characters, like
no Karl Marx.
Yeah, no George Washington, things like that. They thought, we'll just. I would have loved a George Washington. I would have built it. It would have been, or even the baddie king. I forget his name, King George II, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so the fact they went a bit safe with it, but Leonardo da Vinci is quite a pivotal character within Assassin's Creed. So I think it was good, and it's quite a cool card.
I think so too. I played against a brew of it. Like Tom Overfiend has a Da Vinci deck, and it's pretty fun. I'm also a sucker for any of a deck can have any number of cards in it. So like the Templar Knights. So I'll need to get 20 to 30 of those to build a deck. But yeah, no, I think all in all, I thought it was a really positive reception to it. There is like Universes Beyond can be a bit of a point of contention. And I think next year we'll kind of stress it in the community. But this year felt good. So it was tough to, again, how do you follow Lord of the Rings? Slam dunk. How do you follow 40k? Slam dunk. How do you follow Doctor Who? Slam dunk. So
the thing with Lord of the Rings is it blends so well with Magic.
It does.
Totally agree.
It's just, yeah, they didn't need to do much to...
Also, Rip the One Ring in Modern got banned today, but yesterday. I'm not selling mine. It's a great card. Long live Commander. Please don't ban it. But yeah, no, it's just a cool set. Like it felt different. It felt like a palate cleanser. Like it. Yeah.
The thing I would say with the Assassin's Creed release, my absolute favourite was the Secret Lair Da Vinci designs.
Oh yeah, the schematics, like Da Vinci sketchbook stuff.
Yes, this just looks amazing.
So
even the haystack.
That was the bonus card, wasn't it?
It's a beautiful sketch haystack.
Yeah, the only one that's not been put into a deck.
No, they are gorgeous though. Like Luke, you got them as well, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Anytime I see that you guys casting them, it's like, oh, it's just, please, can I see it? It's one of those situations because we play on webcam a lot, almost exclusively. I'm like, oh, I wish I could have a look at that card. So,
yeah, the art treatment was fantastic.
I'm even like that when I cast it.
Yeah.
If you're ever watching me on stream and I've ever cast one, you'll see me like playing with it. It's like
getting doughy eyes and this wee smile. Dean, it's your turn. Oh, sorry. So we went from Assassins killing to Bloomborough in August, which was another new plane. So we had 2 new planes this year, and it was all about anthropomorphic animals. So no humans on this set, just little animals, actual size as well. So like that was like 2 scale animals that wear clothes, kind of like Sylvanian families, but like swords and shields and arrows. So it was all kindred, all creature type focused. I'm not gonna lie, I was not fussed for Bloomborough on like initial release because I like the cute and cuddly doesn't really yuck my yum, but I started to, when I was actually looking at the cards and I saw like the quality of them, they didn't just like do cute cards that do stuff. It was like, actually these are quite good cards doing quite impactful things, and it also was a time where I'm like, oh, standard kind of looks a little bit better now. Like this is quite interesting. So it was very much a perception shift of standard. Not that we play it a lot, but something that I have been thinking about. So yeah, I was higher on it than I thought I would be, and not least of all because of the printing of Wick, the Grixis rat typal commander, and it was just, yeah, it was really fun to play in the set special we did. And I've since built it out as a real deck, and I love it. It's a really fun commander, fun deck, fun creature type to play around.
Like no rats in your deck whatsoever.
Oi. There's at least 15 to 20. So again, you folk that are new here, I do have a habit of building typal decks that don't necessarily have like an abundance of the certain type, but just enough so that it's good. But not enough that I don't have to eat my words every time I play it from these lovely friends that I have. What about you, Dean? What was your any standouts from Bloomborough? What was your take on it?
The standout from the set was probably a memory of our set special when I decided to play Flubs the Fool.
Oh god! When Dean played cEDH and we just sat for an hour and a half watching him.
It was worse than cEDH though because it didn't have any end goal.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
But yeah, I kind of like. I wasn't too sure on it, but I did kind of like it. I like the offspring mechanic. Yeah.
Yes.
I like. There's a couple of cards I like for standard. Yeah. Like they're to do with lizards and stuff like that for my Mon Red deck, which is actually Boros, but.
Standard.
But yeah, it was a nice set. It was nothing really stood out too much apart from the fooling around with the flubs.
Fooling around with your flubs. What about you, Luke?
Similar to all of you, like I thought the artwork was really nice. I like the alternate borders. I thought it was really cool having 4 different treatments for 3 Tree City, I think it was called. So you had the winter and even the basics. You had like winter, autumn. I thought that was
cute.
A really nice way to just add a bit of variety, because I think basic land not being full art now in sets is just unforgivable. But saying that, I didn't really get into it. I enjoyed the set special we did playing the mono blue Keatsat. I thought it was a fine deck. You're drawing, discarding. Other than that, there wasn't. I like some of the calamities actually. The black snake, the rotten meth viper or copperhead.
Oh yeah, it's like a 6 drop.
Quite cool.
Yeah, discounted rate for.
And some of the gift mechanic was quite smart. It was like, well, you know, I can do this. You can draw a card. I thought it's a bit more equitable. I thought it was a bit cheeky that you could do the horrible thing to the person and give the gift to someone else. It's clearly designed as a standard card. So you go, oh, I'm going to blow up your thing or bounce it, but here's a card. But in Commander, you can go, well, I've just taken that from you, and I'm going to allow the other player to draw. So you're getting no value. But yeah, I thought it was a fine set. It was neither here nor there. It was fine.
No, I hear that. Like I've actually forgotten they had done like the seasonal prints for the cards. I thought that was it's definitely the set to do it, right? Because one of my favorite, so I'm going to be the art guy this podcast apparently, but one of the most beautiful cards was Fell, one of the new removal spells. Sadly, it's 2 mana, big thumbs up, sorcery speed, wah. But it's destroy target creature, which is not a bad rate on a black card that doesn't say destroy non-black creature. But the artwork's by A.M. Sator, and it's the owl with like the little, what's it, a sparrow? And it's just so mystical and it's just beautiful. And I've seen it as like like the etched foil as probably one of the most beautiful cards. So treat yourselves by going and checking out Fell, Fell.
Talking about that, actually, I forget the name of the owl that was like the big baddie in it that was -1 in everyone's creatures.
Oh yeah,
Marvin or something like that. But there was, is it Dawn's? And it's like
Dawn's Truce.
Yeah, and there's like this beautiful egg, and I saw a foil one of that, and it looked fantastic.
We don't talk about beautiful eggs on this podcast. Sorry, Cryptic.
Kind of egg you just wanted to scramble. No, I'm joking.
Yeet out the window. But it was Maha is the owl you were talking about.
Maha,
elemental bird.
I'm proud that none of us built that.
Me too.
I'm looking at you guys, and I'm thinking we all looked at it and thought that would be horrible to build, and none of us took the plunge or even stuck it in a deck yet. So well done.
I did have it in my set special list. Like I'll hold my hands up to that, but I never found it to cast it.
Let's not talk to Barry anymore, Dean.
Sean, shame.
Just gonna close this now. Bye, everybody.
We're all degenerates. We just take turns. But yeah, like I was surprised at how much I liked the set. Like it did feel like a big palette cleanser. I don't know. There's something. Yeah, I don't know. Just something like cute about it. Like I don't know. I
will say this: the accessories were fantastic. Like the deck boxes.
Ooh, so hashtag not sponsored, but yes. The what was it? Ultimate Guard, Ultra Pro.
I think it was Ultimate Guard, but they were really nice.
Yeah, the sidekicks.
You got the big skin as well to put in, so you can put them all in as well.
Yeah, very cool.
Very pretty. I don't own any of them, but they're very.
No, I don't either. It's an observation. I keep looking at them. But they're very nice.
I mean, So what you can do, folks, interesting. So let's pause on this point a little. You can use our affiliate code for Magic Madhouse and pick up said product from them. And when you use our link, we get a little bit of a kickback. So yes, buy lots of expensive card storage and deck boxes. But yeah, those deck boxes and like hives. I'm crossing the streams. I don't know the actual name of the larger carry cases, but yeah, they're beautiful. And they did the same in Dustmorn. Perfect segue, because next, again, after August, we had Dustmorn in September, which was a House of Horror, modern horror, but with like quite clearly like 80s horror movie vibes. So it was a little bit tongue-in-cheek, a little bit of a little bit of goofiness, Ghostbusters sort of sub theme. That was a cool secret lair that came out that month, and it all took place in a mansion. That's right, folks. We had 2 sets set in mansions this year. Karlov Manor at the top of the start of the year, and then Dustmorn at the top of the year, all set in mansions. Distinctly different though, thankfully. Luke, you go first this time. What was your sort of initial thoughts on Dustmorn? Where did you land on it? Any sort of standout mechanics or cards, perhaps?
I thought the artwork was really cool. Dustmorn was pretty good for me. I suppose the standout mechanic for me would be the rooms. I thought that was quite a cool way to do enchantments, because you're getting value with the potential to lock it and unlock it to do different things. I really like that about it. I thought some of the artwork for the horrors were, the overlords was amazing. We got some really big impactful cards that can close games out. The glimmers as well. Is it enduring creativity? The green one. It's like a little deer, a lamb, and the artwork for that, I thought it looked fantastic. Probably the least looking Magic card I've seen since, Lord of the Rings crazy poster art. It felt very much like, I don't know, maybe even like a fancy artwork card for a different playing card game.
The kinda, the all art.
Fractured foils.
Thank you, Dean.
Even the kind of the font they'd use and the way they'd set it up, it felt like it could be it reminded me of almost like a Capcom or Konami kind of game kind of artwork, which I really liked it. But no, I thought Dustmorn was fine. Again, I'm not invested in the story, so I don't know what's really going on. But it was a cool set, and I think the Commander precons were also pretty good from the people that played them. Again, I've only played against the red and black one, and it was pretty good.
Was that the Lord of Pain?
Oh yeah, Lord of Pain's the word.
Yeah, it seems pretty spiky. I was quite high on Dustmorn initially myself. Like 80s movies, not so much horrors, but I liked the kind of idea of it. It did feel weird having like another set where it had like TVs in it. It's like Magic the Gathering doesn't have TVs. This is weird. But I kind of got past it because the card quality was so high. Loved opening Dustmorn boosters. Like you, Luke, rooms. I'm really anything. If you give me a new enchantment, I will love it. But yeah, just a really interesting design space to explore. I'm brewing a deck around them just now. I have said that for the last 2 years because it's my 5 color enchantment deck. But yeah, like just such a wild set. I really wanted to build out Doomsday Excruciator. Like the 6 black pip demon, where it's essentially like Doomsday on a body, but for everybody. I think will be cool. I got gifted a copy of that a couple of months ago, so I need to build a deck out with it. We also got like Demonic Council, which was like another demonic tutor, but with conditions that aren't difficult to meet. No. I'm trying to think what I played for the set special for Dustmorn. It was of course the best card, Mind Skinner. Big disgusting mill card, which has become a real deck as well. So it's I've managed to get two new decks this year from deck commanders that have been released through the standard sets. So I was going to play it this week. So we're recording on a Tuesday. We're playing our favorite decks of 2024 in a couple of days. And that was high on my list, but I'm not going to end the year playing Mill. But really interesting, kind of like Anrag from Karlov Manor, something that goes to combat but doesn't do combat damage. Pretty interesting, and the fact that it's a replacement effect to Mill ticks a lot of boxes. But I liked it. I like it a lot. ley lines, new ley lines. Love that. Oh, and before I forget to mention, it's another set that gave me more morph cards. Manifest Dread. So yeah, just loads, absolutely loads. I think it makes me want to draft because it just seems like it would be nuts, in a good way. What were you, Dean? Any big takeaways from Dust Bowl?
Yeah, I really like the art with the monsters and ghosts on some of the art, and then other art it didn't have them in it. And I thought that was a nice, sweet touch that they did. Arabella.
Arabella.
Like Roxanne, that was like my top 2 decks I've built this year. Yeah. And Screaming Nemesis for standard, which is a 3/3 for 3, and it's got haste. And when it's dealt damage, you deal that much damage to target opponent, and then that player can't gain life for the rest of the game. So, in my mono red Boros deck, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, this was the set that broke standard for a while because they had was it Leyline of Resonance? So in specifically Arena Best of 1, Leyline of Resonance with damage doubler.
Yeah, it was like turn 2. It was
turn 2 kills on Arena. You're like, oh right, okay. Less of a problem in Best of 3 because obviously you can sideboard against it, but there was like a month of just unhappy streamers. Rightfully so, because nobody wants to have a non-game.
Just play counter magic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just have exactly the right counter magic to cast.
Yeah.
And,
Mono blue tempo.
And hope you go first. That was the big
bring
problem.
It back.
Is like win on turn 2, especially if you go first.
Yeah.
I don't know how many untapped lands were available at that point as well.
Yeah, not a good time. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a pretty cool set. Loads of really cool legends. I suspect we'll be seeing new brews come from it through the years, unless they print something more interesting and we forget about it. Interesting dual land print with the 13 or less life coming in tapped. Bit of a miss that it's not. Didn't have basic land types on it, but still kind of cool. I like dual lands that kind of have interesting conditions.
The other dual land came in with that set as well, which was you can tap for the opposite color if you control a swamp or a mountain.
The verges, yeah.
They were good.
That's right. Yeah, if it's a forest, well, it's not a forest mountain, but it taps for red. But if you have a mountain, it taps for green.
Yeah.
It's also that
be really good in your mono red deck, Dean.
5-color mono red.
Talisman? What talisman?
There was a talisman or an artifact that tapped for like white and black, or it tapped for.
The TV. The TV.
Yeah, I think it was the TV.
Yeah,
So
the 3-mana artifact that was black and white.
Yeah.
But if you controlled, if it was a permanent, it tapped
Something
for
like
color.
that.
So it's like it was like colored black and white TV to color TV. Yeah.
And then you could create a spirit or something with it, I think, as well.
Yeah. Oh, and we also got Withering Torment, which is a better Feed the Swarm. So a 3-mana instant destroy target creature enchantment and you also have to lose 2 life. Oh dear. So yeah, lots of cool techie utility cards.
Yeah, the one that removes hexproof. What's that one called?
Wait, what?
The one that the ward blossom one. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that gets rid of ward and hexproof.
No.
I bought 10 of them to use against Dean's Earl deck, but I've not managed to draw any of them yet.
Soon. No, amazing. So yeah, pretty. Oh, and unwanted remake. So a bad Source to Plowshare, but 1 mana removal is honestly never bad.
No.
So then, last but not least, brings us to November last month when we got a set previously known as Core Foundations. So we got Foundations in November, which is advertised as like the stable starting place for new Magic the Gathering players. Most interestingly, that it's standard legal for 5 years, maybe even longer. which is kind of cool. But it was a set that was exclusively reprints. I love sets like this, I'm not going to lie, because I found the core sets when we started quite helpful for building up collections, because we were playing constructed. So without them, it would have been really expensive to try and find singles of particular set cards. That, well, I suppose that's a bit of a misnomer, because if it wasn't printed, it wouldn't have been in standard. But it's great to have access to easy staples, and especially now as Commander players, where it's like, oh, every couple of years we're going to get a bunch of staples printed, so we're never going to have to pay too much for, I don't know, a bad example is like Lana War Elf or whatever.
If the prices get too spiky, they can, we'll put this in the next Foundation set.
Yeah,
bring it down a bit.
And to be fair, that happened, didn't it? Because Double in Season was printed in this set, so it's not like your typical core set, which is kind of like middle of the road, kind of safe cards to print. Like they've deliberately tried to print in some like quite powerful cards, which I think is needed for nowadays 60 card constructed. But yeah, the fact that they reprinted Double in Season into it, I'm now trying to think of like other like amazing things that they printed. But two of the new cards that really stood out to me, they printed the Blasphemous Edict, so mono black Blasphemous Act. So 3 and 2 black, you may pay 1 black rather than the spell's mana cost if there's 13 or more creatures, and it's each player sacrifices 13 creatures. Which is amazing. And they were bold enough to put, was it Exquisite Blood on a body? The Bloodthirsty Conqueror. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. So I like that they've brought in some of the kind of the classic cards that are really well defined in Magic, that they don't quite, maybe don't feel bold enough to reprint, and probably shouldn't, because Exquisite Blood's a busted good card. So yeah, I like it. It's bringing in lots of things that we want and need, and a little bit of new stuff as well. What about you? Look, have you picked up any Foundations boosters? What's your take on it?
I did. I opened one when we were in Kirkcaldy, and it was fine. It's it's well priced. The boosters were nice. For me, getting different art treatment for all these kind of cards is great as well. So you can, like you've got the basic artwork for the Llanowar Alpha, you've got the really fancy artwork, you've got kind of both sides of the same road. I love a core set, similar to you guys. Like we played Standard for a long time, and I felt it was a mistake when Wizards said we're not doing core sets anymore, because I didn't see any benefit to not doing a core set. But no, I think it's great. They've completely restarted Standard, and basically every archetype, every way you want to play the game, you can. There's cards that are great for artifacts. There's cards that are great for mono, red, slash, Boros, burn. There's cards, big green stompy things. It literally caters for everyone, and I just hope that the next set that comes out is as good. Yeah, no, I think Foundation's been a success.
What about you, Dean? You cracked any packs? Anything that stood out to you?
Yeah, I cracked a few. Got the alt art Muldrotha.
Oh yeah, that's right. You opened that in Kirkcaldy.
And Double in Season in the same pack. So
that's nuts.
It's not the Double in Season the one though, because I want the cat one.
The cat one, yeah.
Yeah, I need the cat one. I don't want it. I need it.
Need it. That's it. That magic. It's got its hooks into you, mate.
But yeah, as like I said, wall of core sets. I think it's better than a core set because it has cards that 100%. Aren't standard legal as well. So we get these cards like the Blasphemous Edict and that as well, and some commander cards power into it as well. That's what we play most. So
have you noticed? Yeah, no, I like it. So outside of the set, they brought out a couple of products around, I'm going to sound like a shill, but they brought out like the beginner's box and like how to teach people how to play Magic. So it's like a new kind of thing that you have on your shelf to like bring out on an evening for a friend that dares say, oh, could you teach me how to play Magic at the Gathering? It's like, why, yes, I absolutely can. So I like that. I like that they've made an effort to bring out an updated product that's for like onboarding new people, and by all accounts, it's pretty good. I have one, but I have not found a willing victim yet.
You teach me.
I mean, I'm saying nothing. You've won quite a lot of games on stream recently, so I think it'll be the other way around.
It's just like once we start teaching you, you'll never financially recover from this.
Well, that's what Avid does, right?
Disclaimer.
Amazing. So that is the sets. So if we were to think back to the whole year, what would you say was your favorite set? I think for me, it's Modern Horizons. Not probably because I'm not a Modern player, but it was so many good new toys for Commander. Everything's busted. I loved it. I felt like anytime I opened a booster, I was guaranteed to have a playable thing in the format that I love. And it's in a year where there's like lots of like little mini stories. It was nice to have like a story agnostic set. Which is also why I was quite high on Foundations. Like I probably would have said Foundations was the best set of the year, but for me, Modern Horizons is my favourite set. What about you, Dean?
Yeah, Modern Horizons 3. Just, I would have said Fallout or Assassin's Creed, but they weren't proper sets.
Not real sets.
There wasn't enough meat.
I was like, you negging them is like, I didn't like it. You're gonna have to reprint more. maybe I'll like the next one.
And Eldrazi support.
So it's unsupported with back-to-back years of Eldrazi precons that are busted good. Yeah. What were you like?
Yeah, I think like you said, Modern Horizons 3. I'd say Fallout's a close second, but Fallout wasn't a set. If we'd had some kind of set rather than just collector boosters and the Commander decks, then probably Fallout. But nah, Modern Horizons 3 was great.
Heck yeah. Nice. Full house again. It's almost like we're pals and we
like what we like.
We like what we like. Maybe that's what brings our friendship together, that we like the same Magic the Gathering sets. Fab. So we're sticking on the favourites theme for a moment. What about well no, actually I'm gonna jump between the notes. So we know what your favourite set is. What was your worst set, Luke?
It's tied between probably Karlov Manor and Thunder Junction, I think.
Ooh.
The worst sets. For me anyway.
That's fine. You're allowed to not like things.
I am.
You have permission.
Thank you.
What were you, Dean? Worst set?
Yeah, Modern Horizons 3.
I mean, it could be.
No, Murders of Karlov Manor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't do it for me at all.
No, I think if I didn't get so many toys from it, like I think the card quality was actually quite good in Karlov Manor. Also, go us! Not one of us said Markov Manor, and the whole year I've been saying Markov Manor instead of Karlov Manor. But no, it's OTG, so Thunder Junction was the biggest kind of miss for me. Again, a couple of cool toys to play with, but yeah, it just didn't. Magic with cowboy hats really just didn't do it for me. Despite getting invested in the set to go and promote it at Axion. So let's stick on the favourite and worst theme for a moment. What about favourite card? I'm going to go you first this time, Luke. Dean, because I went to you first last time, Luke.
Roxanne! Yeah, has to be.
Understandably so.
It brought back my rejuvenation of wanting to build decks.
This is why I hate Thunder Junction.
That was the real reason you just didn't want to say it. What about you, Luke? Favourite card of the year?
Probably Dog Meat from Fallout. I thought it was a really cool card. having my own dog meat resonated with me here. So yeah, and it's a fun card to play.
Targeted marketing right there.
Oh yeah, they got me good.
Yeah. Ironically, like I'm so low on Thunder Junction, but my favorite card is from it. So Abeka Splitter of Seconds is probably one of my favorite cards from the year. Just because it's a little bit niche. It cares about upkeeps, and who cares about upkeeps? It's turned out to be a really fun commander deck that does lots of weird things that none of my other decks do, other than take up lots of time. But at least it's a sorcery speed deck for the most part, so that's not so bad. But yeah, Abeka Splitter Seconds, like, love it. Love the design of it. Busted, but not busted in like a really unfair way. Very easy to interact with. So, what about worst card? Is anything in particular that like just absolutely stinks? You've had plenty of time to think about it, Dean. What's your worst card?
All the cloak cards.
Leave my worst alone.
And all the dread ones, the manifest dreads.
I don't like you.
and the Becca.
especially Abeka.
Yeah. No, I couldn't really say there's a worst card. Because it's like some random common that costs 7 mana.
Yeah, but that's fair.
I can't really remember getting salty over any cards really this year.
This is where we're like, editor,
yeah.
Play the clip.
yeah. There's nothing been bad.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm kind of the same way. Like I put it in the outline for the episode of like, what's our worst card? But we don't tend to hang on to stuff very long. If we don't like it, we just don't tend to bother with it. It's gonna forget about it. I think if I had to pick something, I'd maybe do Nadu, just because it was a really badly designed card. Says he who designs cards, not. But yeah, for how much of a problem it became in lots of formats, it absolutely dominated social media and any sort of discourse. So I was glad to see it banned from essentially every format. So that's probably like the one I don't least like, but ultimately wasn't that fussed about it because I only play Commander, so I stand by it's fine in Commander. What be like anything that stands out for worst card for you?
Probably Slimes Against Humanity.
Fuck off!
Such a stupid card.
I didn't talk about Slimes Against Humanity. That was the best card. Why are you guys like crapping on my favorite cards?
And I really thought the Flare of Cultivation should have been instant speed. I know it would have been broken, but I think all the others are instant speed. Take a chance, make it instant speed.
I mean, yeah, it is very noticeable that it is the only sorcery speed one that doesn't have like a maybe on face value impactful effect, because it just tutors for 1 land, 2 lands.
Yeah,
two
one land.
Was one in hand and one on the battlefield.
Oh, it's a cultivate.
It's cultivate, yeah. So
cultivate on a body.
2 lands is probably quite impactful, but yeah, no, it was an interesting decision to only make that one sorcery. I can't believe I forgot about Slimes Against Humanity. I'm so unprepared for this episode. Episode 2.
It's a terrible card.
It wasn't like it was a big part of your year or anything.
Yeah.
No, it's not like I asked everybody in the community to sign a card for me and send it to me. No, nothing significant about it.
Christian's the only one that actually signed one.
Of the tokens, yeah. It's the only one that ever comes up. But yeah, spoiler alert, I am playing that on Thursday. So I'm playing my Slimes Against Humanity deck on Thursday. So by the time this episode has been released, you'll be able to find it on YouTube. And if I'm clever, I'll remember to link it somewhere on screen right now. Okay, so that kind of covers the bests and the worsts. Any particular reprints that you're fond of that happened this year? I think for me, I really liked Dublin season being reprinted. Just again, it made the price of it in the secondary market absolutely tank Big fan of that. But my favorite reprint, hands down, is not Reconnaissance. It's a card I've coveted for ages, so I was glad to be able to pick it up for like nothing. What were you doing? Any particular reprint stand out to you?
Yeah, Dublin season Reconnaissance.
Nice.
The Dublin season just for that cat art that I must own.
I must have it.
Yeah, Reconnaissance of just like you, I wanted one for such a long time. Open the vaults.
I mean, that wasn't a particularly expensive card to begin with.
No, but it got Assassin's Creed art. Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah.
That got some nice art as well this year. Karlov Manor.
Karlov Manor, yeah.
But also Assassin's Creed.
Yes. Oh my good, double reprint.
Yeah.
What were you looking? Any particular reprints that stand out?
Yeah, as I said, I think Phyrexian Tower was probably the best reprint of the year for me.
Oh yes, I know, beautiful. Like the full art is absolutely gorgeous.
But again, I think reprinting cards like Dublin Season and Reconnaissance is great. Just making them accessible, which they should be.
Absolutely. Here. Here's to that. So I guess the other things to really cover from us is this was a really good year for us for events, because we actually went to an absolute bunch of them. So we covered 4 events this year as a content team. We went to Axion in Birmingham, which was April. Was that right?
March, April time, yeah.
March, April, end of March.
Yeah.
It was the same time as Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
It was in fact it was the release weekend for Thunder Junction.
Yeah.
It was.
Checks notes. So that was April, yes. Haha. And then we also made it over to MagicCon Amsterdam, which was June. End of June?
End of June, yeah, end of June.
Yeah. And then we jumped into Axion's Commandfest London, which was September.
Yeah.
And then we rounded it off with an event at home, which is Squinton, Scotland somewhere, for a cEDH tournament in Kirkcaldy, hosted by our good pal MTG, which was November.
Yeah.
Yeah, last month, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah. Look at that.
So Birmingham at the first quarter of the year in April, we went there as featured creators, all 3 of us, getting to show up with our cowboy regalia. What was your your big highlights? What was your takeaways? Dean, it was like your first like actual Magic event, which was kind of cool because we also recorded a game, as I mentioned earlier when we were talking about Thunder Junction.
Yeah, we recorded a game with Chad Magic. We also recorded a couple of games ourselves that might never see the light of day.
that are still being edited.
The first thought that comes back to Birmingham is exhausted.
Yeah.
It was... We tried to do too much. And we've all admitted that several times, that we tried to do too much.
But isn't learning the hard way the best way to learn?
But I was learning. Where the digs weren't the best.
Oh yeah, cracked then.
Yeah. But again, it was learning experience. It was great meeting everybody, getting games with people that are in our Discord and stuff like that, and seeing faces to actual names. Instead of people saying hi and not saying, by the way, my face, I'm this cartoon character on Discord.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, yeah, that could be pretty challenging.
But yeah, it was fun. It was fun, but very tiring. The first one. Yeah. Learned from mistakes after that.
Lots of sleep after Birmingham. Yeah, Birmingham was cool. It was a nice way to kind of like kick off the year for content for us, because we tried a lot of things. So we did some of like our it was the first time doing like the chatting to people, like walk and talk stuff, sticking microphones in people's faces, kind of doing content outside of our homes, because we obviously stream webcam Commander predominantly. So yeah, no, it was fun. Nice to go down as a squad. Definitely echo the exhausted. Like it was really tough to kind of be on for 2 days. I think that was probably the biggest mistake. Not so much anything else. Like it was just trying to do too much at once. So lessons learned. Because the one thing I really don't like doing is coming all the way down to a location, meeting up with our community, and then not playing games with our community. So absolutely rectified that later on in the year. But yeah, that was kind of feels bad. But it was nice to get down. Edgbaston, the venue, the Commandfest Birmingham's held in, is phenomenal.
Yes.
I don't like cricket, but the grounds are like it's beautiful. Lovely to be in a stadium. Lovely to be in a venue that has windows. Oh my goodness. But yeah, who knows? I think we'll probably go back to Brum next year.
And you can't, like, the food as well.
Yes,
the food was very good options. It was like you can't criticize that, because some places you go, it's a sweaty burger.
No, for sure.
Yeah, that's an image there, Dean. Bloody hell.
Yeah, we've all had that burger. What about you, Luke? Birmingham at the start of the year, you're the dedicated transport person. You drove us.
I did, yeah. So I was the logistics guy, so I've got to take responsibility for booking the Crack Den. Apologies.
That was funny.
It was pretty rough. It also didn't help that I injured my back the morning we were driving down, so I wasn't much use over the weekend. So you guys had to like do even more work, carrying things and dragging stuff around.
Yeah, oh, that's right. We brought all the gear to Birmingham.
All the rig and everything. Yeah. That could lift nothing. But yeah, it definitely did too much. The meet and greet slots for hours, which were great, talking to people and playing games and things. I think I played 2 games over the whole weekend, so that really kind of tells you. And but it's really cool being invited down as a content creator. It was fun to dress up. It's not. I mean, we're all professional, serious people. You very rarely get to like stick a poncho on or like a cowboy shirt and a hat, on a weekend and just wander about. It was fun. It was good. The venue's excellent. Shout out to Axion. They put on great events. The stalls, the vendors, everything. I had a really good time. Apart from my back and the accommodation and the drive, it was great. Yeah.
But they all I feel like all the negatives make for really good stories after the fact.
Yeah,
so,
they do.
Like it's something that we still joke about in our community. Like it was the first thing people asked us in London when we came down for Axion again later in the year. It's like, oh, staying in the Crack Den, are we? How's the Crack Den this time? I'm like, yeah. So no, it was definitely an experience. Like you said, Dean, lots to learn. And we chucked ourselves in at the deep end as well. So it was fun to be able to do that together. But I probably jumping the gun a little. But then we went to MagicCon in Amsterdam and had a bloody good time. Day one was rough because we decided to essentially walk from the airport to our digs with all our bags and equipment and stuff like that. So that was funny. Again, something we laugh on now, but oh my goodness! Like, so I had gone to MagicCon last year, as I mentioned in the podcast last time. So I had an idea of the scale. But I knew going into it, knowing that Luke and Dean had really only gone to like Axion events, which, no slight to them, their events are excellent, but they are small in comparison. So I'm curious to hear what your impressions, Dean, as like brand new to the events circuit, because at this point Luke's got a couple under his belt with me.
Yeah, it was the size. The queue to go and get your badges the day before, and the room was massive, and that wasn't even the main part of it. It was incredible. And they sold beer.
They did. We could drink beer in the venue, and we did. Also, should mention again featured creators at MagicCon, so that's really special.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
It was something I really was proud of that we got to do that. Yeah.
What were you
like?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. On you go, Dean.
Yeah. Just thinking about the size of the thing. It's just like the big Eldrazi. Like, yeah.
Oh, the installation. Yeah, that was unreal.
There was just like, yeah. This
big Emrakul.
And the amount of play tables for playing as well. It was just, you can go and sit anywhere and play a game Magic. It was just
next to the Pro Tour.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so big you can't even hear it. Yeah. What were you, Luke? First MagicCon, how did it land with you? Did it meet your expectations? What were your thoughts?
Yeah. You could absolutely tell it was a premium event, if you like. Like Dean said, the scale of it, the setup, it was all really, really well done. Not to say Axion events aren't, but obviously it's a different level, as you said.
Yeah, man, it's Premier League, right? Oh, sorry, Champions League.
Well, it's the pinnacle. It's the biggest event they do in Europe.
Yeah.
We were, blessed, as Dean said, take immense pride in all we've done to be selected as a feature creator was unbelievable. The art stalls, the venue, the cosplays, just everything. It was just a living, breathing experience. It was fantastic. So no, I absolutely loved it. What I didn't love though was what you touched on earlier, walking to the hotel, which is about 10 miles in the hottest heat Amsterdam's known.
Yeah.
It's 29 degrees, sunburnt, and it should be, a cool 21 or 22, and we were absolutely just
cooked.
To be fair, like I said when we were there and we were walking, it's parts of places that you're never going to walk again. It's things that you've seen that you're never going to see again. You're never going to see that car on top of that barge again.
Oh, so cool. So cool. Yeah, again, but that's another logistics fail, so I don't want to point any fingers. Despite probably being one of the voices like, we'll just walk it, it'll be fine.
You can lead the horse to water, as they say.
And there's lots of water in Amsterdam. I think the biggest irony, though, is at the point where we walked. So we essentially, when we landed, we went straight to the venue to pick up passes. So the next day we didn't have to queue to get them. And to get from the venue to where we were staying, there was essentially 2 roads you could walk. And if we had chosen the other road, it would have gone past bars and restaurants, toilets. But we took the other way, which was essentially dual carriageways and like
industrial centres.
Yeah, it was like industrial centres and like domestic boroughs. So it was like nothing.
Guys cutting down trees.
Yeah, nearly getting an excavator size dig in my head. That was funny. Weird. Full of experiences. Yeah, but no, there's nothing takes away from the scale of it all. Like, it's such a huge event, and it was bigger than Barcelona the year before. And it was great to hang out with people, getting to meet a lot of fellow creators for the first time that we hadn't met, which was really nice, because at this point, this is like year 2 for us, getting to be in like circles with other creators and only really playing with them on stream. So getting to play with them in person was absolutely lovely. Meeting new people, new creators in Europe, which is also lovely. But yeah, just getting to hang out with our wee community, going for dinners. Yeah, it was just great. I'm glad we took we went there like the Thursday evening and left on the Monday, so it meant that we had like ample time to rest and kind of do something every night if we wanted to. Like go to the after party on the Friday night and watch Gavin Verhey do karaoke, and then go mosh out to, what was it, Linkin Park or whatever.
The regression session.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was great. I loved it. Like I would go to MagicCon every year, so I remain hopeful that we get one in 2025, although it does look unlikely. So who knows? And then, as we mentioned, London, CommandFest London. we decided to fly this time rather than drive, and I think we were all thankful for that. Total flip. The digs in Birmingham, awful. The digs in London, top tier.
Yeah. He saved himself at the end of the year.
Absolutely redeemed himself. So kudos to you, Luke. Found an amazing place for us to stay. Best feature, right next to a big Tesco. So
And the stadium.
I mean, yeah, but being right next to Tesco is great because you go. Our fridges were full of good food rather than the things we settled for in Birmingham.
Yeah.
But yes, it was immediately next to the venue, so it was great. Like, it couldn't have been better. So at this point, Luke, this is your third, fourth Axion event coming back from Amsterdam. What was your expectations for London, knowing that it was at Twickenham of all places?
I probably thought it'd be a little bit bigger. I don't think they used the space as well as they could have. It was a shame you couldn't see potentially the pitch, whereas at Edgbaston you had windows. You felt very much enclosed in a part of this building. Saying that though, obviously there was plenty of tables to play games and things, and we all had a great time. We all dabbled, played a bit of cEDH, so that was always nice. There were some cool vendors. But yeah, I maybe expected a little bit more because I expected it to be much bigger than Birmingham, and it wasn't. And I think I preferred Birmingham. I'm gonna put my hands up and say that. And that's not just because I'm a Midlands boy. And don't really like London. But if I could take Twickenham's accommodation and put that in Birmingham, we'd be onto a winner.
Well, that's what I would
That's
say.
the goal for 2025, right?
If you could take the experience out with the event in London and move the event to Birmingham, because going out for the meal and all that was
that was superb.
Really
That was
good.
nice. That was good.
And stuff like that.
Really good.
And obviously the Tesco's right beside it, the digs. It was all very, very good. The flying. Our flight was delayed an hour. Oh no. Let's sit and drink some cider. It was.
I mean, that we pre-gamed pretty well on the way up. To be fair, that wasn't terrible.
We work hard.
We do work hard. To be fair,
we actually enjoyed a cooked breakfast every morning.
Yeah,
you did.
Because we weren't cooking anything in the other place in Birmingham.
No. I was not having any open flames in that place. Are you kidding me?
The coffee machine, all of it. It was a great setup. I just wanted a little bit more from Twickenham, maybe just so it felt less like you were in a. It was just very dark. I felt there just wasn't any natural light, and I like that about Edgbaston. You get the natural light coming through. There's more room. I just think they probably could use the space a bit better.
It was very much like a conference hall in
That's
a
what
hotel.
it felt like. Yeah.
In
the home of English rugby. Yeah.
It was still good. But
It's always good.
I think Birmingham has a better layout.
Yeah, but that's a criticism of the venue, not necessarily.
Yeah. Oh no,
Axion.
no,
you can only do with what you've got.
No. Both events
Exactly.
they put on great events.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but both Twickenham and Edgbaston constantly just seeing people running about having the best time. I walked the hall a couple of times in Twickenham, and you just seen people just having the best time. One of my regrets is not sitting down and playing Adam the Gathering's chaos wheel event, the basic commander with the random things, kind of like Commander Shenanigans. And spoiler alert, we took that idea from Adam when we started. So it was nice to see him in his element doing a really fun event. And watching the videos after the fact of people's reactions to it, you can see it's a huge highlight for people. So that was really, really amazing. Definitely agree about the venue. It's very underwhelming. You could have been in a conference hall anywhere in the world, and there was nothing special about it, which is unfortunate, especially considering it's Twickenham of all places. It's quite a significant stadium. But yeah, it was great to go down again. Great to hang out with everyone. I went and participated in a cEDH tournament. It was great. But interestingly, we didn't record any gameplay when we were down there because we went down with the plan of like, you know what, this is like a wee treat to ourselves. We're just going to hang out and play games with everybody. And I think we were all thankful for that because we were all knackered, irrespective of like the easy travel and everything. So no, it was good. It was nice way to kind of to round off the year of events. But then we had a big highlight for me actually because it was a really fun event. We had the cEDH event in Kirkcaldy with MTGUK. I was really hyped for it. There was a point where I wasn't sure if I could attend it, but having a proxy friendly cEDH event in Scotland is a big deal. So I'm looking forward to the one in February. Hopefully I can attend it. But yeah, it was great. It was, how many, was it 20 people all in, 18? Something like that?
Yeah. There was...
Enough for two buys. There was two buys, right?
Was it
18. Was it 18?
Was it 5 pods and 2 buys?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah. So that was really good fun. I was playing my Tivit deck, Shock Horror. It did okay. I had some tough games, but I'm pretty rusty when it comes to cEDH, so I'm not going to blame the deck. It was definitely player error. But I managed to do some pretty cool things. I was just chuffed to be playing cEDH in Scotland. Not first cEDH events for any of us because we've done at least another in Highlander. Was that this year?
We did.
No, that was the end of last year.
End of last year, yeah.
How were you feeling about it, Luke, coming into it?
I don't play a lot of cEDH. I don't find a lot of time to play cEDH. So you're always kind of conscious. So I built an old deck that I've used before and I just kind of modernized it based on what's now being played and it did okay. The first game I was lots of misplays, but by the kind of second and third game it went okay. It was a good time. It was really cool that Chris organized it because it said there's so little tournament play in cEDH in Scotland, so it's really good to have that opportunity. And it's only a 45-minute drive for us from where we're based, so it was easy enough to get there. And it was great, obviously, having you guys there as well, and we were all able to chat about it. And then we went and got some lunch and we were chatting about what we did, and it was a really cool space as well. So no, I had a good time. It was good.
Yeah, it was a really cool game store actually. What were you, Gene?
Yeah, just pretty much what Luke said. It was just great being at an event with you guys.
Yeah, no, it was nice.
I was a bit going into it. I was a bit miffed because obviously I'd spent quite a lot of time turning Prosh into a cEDH deck, which was basically similar to Corvold, but it leaned more on sacrificing creatures, and then we got slapped in the face with some bans.
Oh, the bans, yeah.
So
yeah.
So for this event, it was kind of a rush job to try and get a deck built. I came up with the rough idea, and then Chris in our community gave me a few ideas. Yeah, who's pretty good cEDH player, gave me some pointers, but I was unprepared, I think, for the event. Need more practice.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way around Tivit. As much as I've been piloting it for a couple of years now, did not really find time, or make time is probably a more honest way of saying it, to figure out what specifically the mulligan strategy is, because pre-ban it was mull till you can cast Ristic Study on turn 1. And it's still, that is the main strategy, but it's all just a lot more difficult to do that now. So I didn't have enough games in under my belt to feel confident going in, despite doing okay at the event, not making top 4 like you, Luke.
Just lucky.
Don't say that. No, that's just something. That's just the way it works out. But yes, the bans. That's a good segue. That was a big thing that happened this year, and I think it might be the last thing we talk about, because I checked the time. We're almost at 2 hours. So if you're still here, we appreciate you. So since we mentioned it, bans. Obviously, there was the huge event of the banning of Nadu, yeah, whatever, Mana Crypt, Jeweled Lotus, and Dockside Extortionist. And our community, not the Shattergang community, the Magic community broke the internet in absolute outcries around it. It split the community in half. Lots of people happy about it, lots of people really unhappy about it. So it's been a couple of months now since it's happened. What was like your initial reaction? How are you feeling about it now?
So first, I just want to kind of frame it by saying I felt the reaction from a small part of the Magic community was just totally uncalled for. It was ridiculous. You can't be threatening people or acting the way you are over cards banned in a game. We need to have some perspective. I will say this: I've always thought Dockside was a problematic card, but not because it's too strong, but because it's not. It was never treated at the same level as Fast Mana. Dockside was jammed into any deck that could play red, and you often saw it at low power tables where it would suddenly come out and generate 5 mana, and that would be the tempo swing that could go on and win the game. I think high power games, Dockside's fine. I think Mana Crypt's fine. I think Jeweled Lotus is fine. I think it's a failing of people able to have that turn zero conversation. This is what my deck does. These are the cards to be aware of. I think too many people are being stomped by these powerful tempo shifts and having a bad time, and they've called for it to be banned.
Yeah, for sure. And how do you feel about the lay of the land now after the fact? Like, has your perceptions changed on anything? Do you feel the format's better as a result or worse as a result?
I feel, Magic's a living, breathing thing. It just moves on. If something gets taken away, people find something else to supplement it. I think in terms of the kind of Magic we play, we hardly ever played a Mana Crypt out with cEDH. Hardly ever played a Jeweled Lotus out with cEDH unless you're, a Niv-Mizzet deck with real or Perforos, because you need it in that deck.
It was high-powered game. It wasn't.
I know, bro. I'm playing, and
I'm not.
the same. And the same with Dockside. Dockside was more high-powered, like you weren't playing that in a low-powered deck. So we didn't have any issues with it directly, and we played powerful decks. I don't think it's the end of it, though. I think we will get cards that have a similar effect that are possibly better designed than the cards they've replaced. But I'm neither here nor there about it. I pulled a Jeweled Lotus on my birthday, and I never got to play it once before the ban came. Because the cEDH event it would have gone in would have been November. So I'm like many others that have suffered from this. But no, Magic just keeps moving.
That's fair. What about you, Dean? Before and after, any strong thoughts?
Yeah, the ban sucked.
R.I.P. Prosh.
Yeah, I was. I'm under the mindset that the cards don't need banned. I'm not going to go and shout at people and call them out for it, though. There's no need for that. Now it's done. I don't really care. It's like, the time it sucked. It was financial aspect. I wasn't planning on selling the cards, but it's still like an investment that I had made into getting these cards to play the game. And then there was no warning. It was like the carpet was swept from under there. And it was, but like I say now, it's just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It kind of puts me into perspective of buying more expensive cards now, though. I'm more likely to proxy stuff now because I don't want to invest into something that's going to get banned.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like a theme of our review of the set is definitely accessibility and affordability. I agree with both of you. Like, would also like to take a moment just to stress that a game of cardboard does not justify in any way to threaten people and cause people harm. if you don't like a decision someone makes about your favorite game. I get it. People have high passions, heavily invested, figuratively and literally, but no, obviously unacceptable. Some of the fringe elements of the outcry. I was definitely in the camp of being upset about it. I was really frustrated about it. It was not a nice thing to have happen, especially on the build up to London. So it happened before Axion London. It was like the week before Commandfest London.
It did.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to finally be getting to play cEDH. My favourite deck is obviously all of those cards that were banned. Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus. Definitely have opinion that no card need banned because it's a casual format. You can place your own tables. But I appreciate lots of other people need guidance around how to play the game, and banning cards as like signposts of what the social experience is certainly one way to tackle it. I'm excited to see what comes of the bracketing system from the new rules committee, or I'm actually not sure what the formal name of the new caretakers are. Or the new old caretakers, I guess, because it's a lot of the same people. But yes, sad to have big, expensive cards banned, not least of all from, like, the way I got mine was from trading in or, like, putting money behind them. I opened a Mana Crypt many moons ago now, and it's the one I still have, and I won't ever sell it, so... and I had no real... When I reflected on how I was feeling about having expensive cards banned, I knew I was never actually going to sell them unless I absolutely had to Dean's point, where it's good to know that, like, there's a little bit of money sitting somewhere just to flip if I needed to. Not least of all, also always seeing people that are, like, more so in the States, when people try to pay for, like, medical bills, and it's like, hey, I'm selling my collection to pay for this. I feel especially bad for people like that, because there was quite a number of people reveling in the bannings of things, and that wasn't cool. That kind of stuck in my beak a wee bit. But if we take away the financial impact of it, it's really healthy for the format. There were 4 cards that really do skew the game. Again, of the opinion no cards need banned, but there were 4 very, very powerful cards that, if played in the wrong setting, i.e. not cEDH, would make for negative play experiences. So I understand it. We'll see what the future lies with them being perhaps unbanned. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? There's a part of me that wants them to not ever be unbanned, though, just despite all the absolute douchebags.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I wouldn't be sad about that. But who knows? We'll see what the future holds. Anyway, but like you say, like, it's old news. There's new controversies. Like, we had the bloody Secret Lair Marvel stuff. Like, plenty of new things to get peed off about. So, hopefully,
you guys not managed to get 8 of each. Is it just me?
Don't go there. Don't go there. I'm taking an executive decision to not touch on other newsworthy events because we're over 2 hours now. But yeah, so hopefully, as much as the bannings had a bit of a sour taste, there's a lot of good that's come for it. The brand new rules committee hopefully will be good stewards of the game. We'll see what goes.
Something that probably needed to happen at some point is Wizards taking hold, because it got too big.
Yeah, far too big.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's the Commander's the premier format for Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
And it's a game that they didn't direct. It's a format that they didn't invent. So
Yeah.
Definitely an inevitability. But it's just a shame. I think it's a shame how it went down. But it seems like lots of things have been rectified since. So perhaps we'll have a guest on in the near future that we can maybe talk about that a wee bit more on. But yes, so fingers crossed for 2025 being a positive year. Lots of new sets coming out. Again, it seems like Universes Beyond set seems to be like some of the best releases. So I'm excited for Spider-Man later in the year.
Know.
But
don't know.
that will be for another podcast. So let's end it. Let's end the pod on some highs. So I've got 2 more questions for you lads. So first is, what is your favorite deck that you built this year? Dean, you go first, please.
I need to answer that.
I know it's Roxanne, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, Roxanne, yeah.
Roxanne. Yeah, no. As much as it is a formidable deck to face against, I really enjoy playing it. I see how much you love playing it, so I always get a kick. Literally and figuratively.
Yeah. It's just fun nonsense. It's
certainly one way to describe your deck.
Yeah. It gets really scary and then I die. That's basically the theme.
It's the exact same experience for your opponents as well.
Yeah.
What about you, Luke? Favorite deck of the year?
It's probably Lucis the Eternal. I think that's my favorite deck.
Yeah, that's been on a bit of a journey, and it's turned into something quite formidable.
It was crap to begin with, and it's been tuned a bit, and it's more streamlined. And if it gets going, it's good. It's good. What about you, Barry? What's your favorite deck?
Well, my favorite deck, actually, I've had quite a lot of decks that I built this year that I've ended up really, really liking. But the biggest highlight is definitely my Shalai and Halar deck, not least of all because Shalai and Halar, when it was spoiled, I think, was it 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago now. I forget what set. It was from one of the Commander sets, wasn't it? With
March of the Machines, or
I think it was March of the Machines.
All Will Be One.
No, it was March of the Machines because it was in the
epilogue. When was it?
Yeah.
Because it was all the parents. Aftermath, yeah.
No, it was definitely, it was in it was one of the Commander precons. But anyway, it was a cool card that was really, oh yeah, it was that, yeah, because Aftermath had the team ups.
Yeah.
So it is around that time, you're spot on. So yeah, it's cool. It's a really impactful commander that is like a 2-card combination kill with like a bajillion cards. But I turned it into like a community deck where it's a Slimes Against Humanity deck that has like 25 slimes in it. And it's just full of like lovely memories because it's like cards that I got from people in Birmingham and Amsterdam. So it's a deck that I'll keep forever. And it's also an artist proof from the artist that did Shalai Halar, Mila Pesic. I probably should know that because I hung out with her in Barcelona and she's really cool. So yeah, got to play it quite a lot this year, and I'll be playing it on Thursday, which will be after this airs. So again, there'll be a link in the description if you're watching on YouTube. So on the same theme, personal highlight for the year. I'll go first this time. It was absolutely Amsterdam. I know that's probably going to be the same for you guys. It was great to go on holiday with my pals and then hang out with our community and just absolutely feast on the hobby that we all love. It was just the best time, and I hope we get a chance to do it next year and every year after. What about you, Luke? Highlight of the year?
My redemption arc from booking the crack den to Twickenham. That's been my highlight. But other than that, Amsterdam was also pretty good.
Yeah, mid. And Dean, what about you?
Yeah, I have a memory of us on the way down to Birmingham sitting in the car, and I turned around to the back seat where you and our other friend was sitting, and I said, "Isn't it amazing that we're managing to get to 2 events this year?" Which turned into 4 events.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, just being away with my friends and meeting all the lovely people in the community and stuff like that. It was just, didn't matter where it was. It was just, we were all together for for the gathering.
Yeah, it's all about the gathering.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Love it.
No, it's cheesy, but it's true.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, man. It was great to spend quality time with you, especially as we've touched on. The whole point of us starting the content was to guarantee that we all hung out at least, even remotely, once a week, if not every other week. And it just feels like a lovely extra special time because we don't get to see each other in person as much as I would like. So it's nice that we got to do some really cool things together. So remember this special moment because next couple of days we're going to be battling it out, hating each other's guts as we play Commander. But it's been a phenomenal year. Like that's second year for the Shattergang. We're doing really cool things. So hopefully next year we'll get to do some cool things too. So next time when we're all back on, we'll probably do something along the lines of what we're looking forward to in 2025, and we'll reflect on some of our stats from our live streams because our lovely mods, Cryptic and Chrono, help us track all our gameplay stats. So we'll do an overview of the live streams in the next one, and then think about what we're looking forward to in 2025. But until then, folks, have a lovely Christmas and New Year if you celebrate those holidays. And the next time you hear from us, it will probably be a new year. So great to see you, lads.
As always,
we'll see you in a live stream soon. Every Thursday, Twitch and YouTube. All right, folks.
See you
Have a good
later.
one.
Good Christmas.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.